Now we're gonna go into what I like about what I did for the new year. Okay, I need a drink. Wait a minute. I'm back. I just had a bit of a drink. Right, New Year. What did I do for New Year? Oh, that's right. We went and saw a pantomime. If you're not around the UK or Europe, you might not know what a pantomime is. So I'm going to talk about the pantomime I saw and tell you about a pantomime. A pantomime is a theatre show directed to a family, mostly little kids, but it's a family show. You get what I mean when I get more to it. And it happens during Christmas. There have been adult-only pantos that have happened, and there's also been pantomimes that have happened, like Easter pantomimes and stuff like that, but they are traditionally done Christmas. And the pantomime I saw, which before I say what I saw, pantomimes are mostly shows around fairy tales. So you've got different fairy tales, so it's Jack the Beanstalk, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, there's even Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Jack Whittington, and the one I saw was Snow White. I didn't say that. So this is our poster of the Snow White that I saw, and then this is the front of the stage. You can't take any videos or photos during the show, so I always take one at the beginning of what it looks like with a pretty frame and everything. So it's a proper production. You normally have a star. The star for our show is this lady here. She's from a TV soap, which is a drama series that happens all the time. There's no series; it's literally constant. And she's from the one called EastEnders. But as a big but, at the beginning of the run, she fell and she hurt her wrist. So instead, we got a West End star, and which was quite nice that this panto, when we saw it, had no stars, because they normally have a star in the panto. They only have one or two, just to get all the units come along, and you see people I saw Peter Pan, and the guy that was playing Hook was Vanilla Ice. Ice baby. Yeah. That's the main one I can think that everyone would know who that is. Yeah, I saw him one year. So you could get different celebrities and everything at every show. They sometimes have a main star and then they have a children's star, so children can look forward to it. But this show, mostly every person in this show was mostly a theatre star. Theatre star, which I think is just brilliant. And then, in an interval of every pantomime that you see, you get ice cream. I got vanilla ice cream, and there's always different flavours, chocolate, caramel, and things like that. So, and every pantomime you have the main stars. The main characters, they're normally about 5 or 6. They can be more depending on the story that you've got. So for Snow White, we had 5 main characters. There's only 4 on the poster. There is one more. So our main characters were, we had Snow White, which is this lady here. Everyone knows Snow White. Now the one that's not in the poster is Prince Simon of Sapphira. And I put in there his from afar, because there was a whole joke in the pantomime of that. He's from afar, from afar, from afar. There was a whole joke about it, and it was quite funny. They normally have their catch lines and everything like that. And then Narcissia is the lady here, the one where we got a replacement for the show, and that is our villain. Now we have our villain, we have our good person, and my star. And basically with pantomime, there's always a tradition that when you see stage, the villain comes from the right, and the good person comes from the left. That's traditional pantomime. But this is a small theatre. I've actually been on this stage in the past doing dance, and the backstage of this theatre, the left of the stage is literally tiny little steps. So if you've got a row of people trying to get on that side, it's hard, and where the right of the stage, when you're looking at the stage, it's quite open, so it's easy to get a lot of group of people in and out. So most of the time in this pantomime, they had the good and villain enter from the same side of the stage, but that's because the layout of the theatre and everything like that. When you see other shows, they do have a good backstage theatre and everything like that. The backstage, they will be coming on traditionally, villain on the right, good people on the left. That's how the traditional pantomime works. And in pantomime, you can cheer, you can boo, you can shout out as much as you like. And it is very thing of every time the villain comes on stage, you boo, you hiss, you go boo. So literally every time the queen comes on stage, which is Narcissia, we go boo, boo. That was quite loud, and because there's lots of cheer and everything, I just clapped and my arms were hurting. I had trouble clapping 20 minutes in, so, which is fun. And then the next two we have Herbie the Humpson. Now, Herbie the Humpson is a character that they always have in panto, and that is the joke character, the funny comedian character. They normally have a comedian or a kids entertainer playing this role, and they always make the jokes. They interact with the audience. They always interact with the audience. Like with Herbie, he'll come on and he said, "Do you want to join my gang?" And we're like, "Yeah!" And they go, "Right, when I come in and say hiya gang, you go hiya Herbie." So every time he came on stage, he goes hiya again. We say hi Herbie. Oh God. So that's always fun. Sorry, excuse me for a second. And he does all the jokes, and a lot of his jokes is quite funny. He's some of my favourite parts was because of his character, which is always. The next character is Dame Dolly. Now, Dame Dolly. This is a character you'll find in every pantomime, and that is a pantomime dame. Now, a pantomime dame is a man dressed up as a woman in a very cartoony, and they always have the funky costumes and everything like that. Some of our costumes were so brilliant and hilarious as well. They always they bring in the comedy as well, and Dame Dolly and Huntsman Herbie, they normally come as a duo, and they make funny scenes and everything like that, and that happens in mostly every pantomime. The dame with the jokey character always bounce off of each other, and they're normally on the same side of the story, so they can bounce off each other and everything like that. And you normally get one pantomime dame, but in Cinderella you will get two pantomime dames because they play the ugly stepsisters. So they'll play the stepsisters in Cinderella. So you get two in that panto, but all the other panto storylines you normally just have one. And they're always brilliant big to life characters. Like this person we saw that he hasn't done much. He just came out of school and he was fantastic as Dame Dolly. Like, amazing. And it was really nice to see a younger person being a dame, because Punter is like brilliant, funny every year, but it's hard to find newer people, younger people who go into these big roles like Dame Dolly and the joke character Herbie. They normally come in as like the princess or the prince or anything like that. Also, in traditional pantomime, you normally have a girl play the prince as well. But because let me get my words right. You normally get a girl playing the prince as well. Some of the pantomimes do a boy, some do a girl. It depends on the stars they get or who they want to get in the pantomime, and also depends on the jokes and stuff as well. The main pantomime you normally get where every time you watch it, the girl is the main guy character, and that's Peter Pan. There's not many pantomimes where a boy plays Peter Pan, but it all changes. It's panto. You can do whatever. You've got a girl playing a man as Dame Dolly, as a prince, and then you have a man dressed as a woman as Dame Dolly. They just change it around and everything like that. So that's pantomime. Now, my favourite parts of pantomime, some of them are very traditional, some are not traditional, they're just for this show. So let's go through them. Batgirl and Bum Man. That's what I said. Bum Man. It's a skit where Snow White is in the woods and is about to be killed for a heart. So Dame Dolly coming in going, Batgirl, we're coming to save ya. And Herbie comes in as Bum Man. And Dolly has a go at him because she meant Batman, not Bum Man. And when I mean Bum Man, I literally mean he was dressed as a bum. It was like a big, like, bum suit. I don't know how to describe it. Oh, but some of the jokes in that little skit, because he was a bum, and his face was, I think he could figure it out. There was a lot of jokes and adult humour. This is what I mean by a family show. They do have all these comedy things for the kids, but they're also for the adults. Because these two characters, Herbie and Dame Dolly, could come up with some of the dirtiest, not the dirtiest, some adult humour jokes that just flies off the kids' heads, but they find it funny anyway. They don't quite understand why it's funny, but they laugh at it anyway. And that's the whole point of a family show. They don't go too dirty, because that's just wrong. They just go adult humour enough for the kids to just not understand it, but they laugh still. And it's them little jokes that just find it brilliantly funny. Oh, another moment I forgot to put down. There was this sausage moment. And you can kind of guess some of the adult jokes that happened there. But what, even in a bum suit? I've never been more curious. Oh yeah, I wish I could take a picture, but I can't. You can't take pictures on anything. But it was funny. It was funny. But the moment I talk about sausage, they have sausage on a tray, and one of them comes up, and Dame Dolly's like, "No, be dead," with a gun. Western music. Press the button, and the sausage sings. I can't remember what song it sings. It sings like I'm going to die or something. I saw something like that, but it was just funny because it had a spotlight just on the sausage. It was funny. But the other thing is the dwarfs. Now, in pantomime, they always come up with creative ways of doing the dwarfs. They do have actual small people. I don't know what's the best thing, because I don't really want to call them dwarves, because that's the characters they'll play. But they do hire 7 of them to be dwarfs in some pantos, and there are agencies that have them for pantomimes for certain theatres. But with the costing of hiring people and everything like that, sometimes a lot of pantomimes theatres haven't got the budget to hire 7 little people to play the dwarfs, so they go with other things. Like sometimes they use their actual ensemble. If they've got a big ensemble, they use them as the dwarfs, and they kneel down and have the little shoes and stuff like that. But also with other shows, they have kids teams. Now these kids teams, they normally have 2 or 3 depending on the panto. This panto Snow White, they had 2 teams. And these 2 teams of kids, you have the red team and blue team. We saw the red team. And these kids, they got 7 of the kids to play the dwarfs. Now, what I liked about this show, about the dwarfs, is that most other pantos, they just have them come out with hats, pitfalls, saying they're dwarfs, and they say their names. The lines, but you can see they're little girls or little boys, they're not dwarfs. But this one, which I think is really clever, they got them with mask head things, with the big mascot costumes. They had them heads. Well, these had just the heads, and they wore a costume, dwarf costume, and they had a pre-recording of the dwarfs speaking, and the kids in the mask, they mime out with big actions and everything. And it was really cleverly done. And I think the kids, I think they were all girls in this team. Yeah, they were all girls in this team we saw. And they were just fantastic. It was really clever how they did it. It was different. I haven't seen a pantomime Snow White do it like this before, which I think is just brilliant. Now the songs. The songs in pantomime are always pop songs or children's songs, and what I mean by children's songs, there were 2 Disney songs that were done in this show. One was Bruno, and I know what you're thinking, how can they do Bruno when there's not a character called Bruno? And that was because they made a character, Bruno, who was the character to go and kill Snow White for the heart for the Queen in the story of Snow White. And I knew my family that I saw, other than the kids, wouldn't have a clue what this song is. And I was just sitting there going, they didn't have a clue what this song is or about. It was clever what they did. They brought out a new song, and they had one of the ensemble, because they always have 4 ensemble, 2 girls, 2 guys in all pantomimes. Be Bruno. And he doesn't really talk that much, which is quite cool. But it was a good thing. And the other Disney song they did was Wicked from the Descendants film. I think it's the second Descendants film, and that was Narcissia's main song when she poisons the apple and turns into the older lady. And I just think the way they did that song was amazing. It was clever how they did it with the ensemble and with the kids as well, and it was just brilliant how they did it. It was good. What other songs were there? There was loads of different pop songs. I can't think of the songs on the top of my head. I should have written them down, but I probably wouldn't have written them down because I'm not great with names of songs. Oh, sorry. They did do 500 miles. Lording. But my favourite song of all, 12 Days of Christmas, panto style. Now, they do this in pantomimes. They'll either do this and one other thing, and that is 12 Days of Christmas. And their version is very funny. They always seem to have they have some things that they change depending on the pantomime. But number 1, number 5, and number 12 is always the same. Always. No matter what pantomime you see, the thing that they do for number 1, for number 5, and number 12 is always the same. The ones in between change depending on the pantomime and what they've got. Like in this show, because they got the wolves, they did beards. They also did the rubber ducks as well. The rubber ducks you see now and again as well. There's like loads of different things. But to show you what I mean by panto style, and let me have a break from talking, is we're gonna watch a video. Oh god. Right, I'm just gonna go to my chat screen while I sort the video up. But basically, I am gonna show you oh god. I'm gonna show you a video. It's not of this panto. It's a different panto. Wait a minute. I'm gonna show you a video. It's not of this panto. Wait one moment. I'm gonna show you a video. It's not of this panto. Wait one moment. Oh, there we go. Oh god. Sorry about that. Right, here we go. Let's go back to capturing. Right, this video is of a different pantomime. So this is, I can't remember the story of what story this one. Oh, I think this one's Cinderella. But they have 3 of the main characters come out and they do this 12 Days of Christmas. Sometimes they have the dame, sometimes they don't. They didn't have a dame in this one. I'm just gonna show this one. And I've just realised I haven't stopped the music. Ah! Wait a second. Back to the screen. What am I like, okay? I keep forgetting things. Keep forgetting to do things. Right. And let's go back to capturing. Right. So we're gonna watch this. It's an about 10-minute video. I'm just gonna play it. Thank you, Mark, for the hydrate. It gives me a break from the It gives me a break from talking and everything. It's the best version I can find of 12 Days of Christmas, but they'll show you a bit of the mayhem that happens during this song. So, here we go.
Go home with some midnight online shopping. I'm going to hit the sales, but I don't know what to buy. I've been so forgetful lately, and I'll tell you why. What happened the other night, I put 2 nails into the wall, laid someone on top, and I put my books there. The books fell off and hit me on the head. I've only myself to blame. So I'm going to read this song that always reminds me of good gifts. So gang, would you like to hear the song? Yeah. Would you? Yeah. Brilliant, okay, you're in for a treat. Here we go. Thank you all, baby. On the first day of Christmas, my true love said to me.
This happens in every pantomime, so I will pause it now and again to talk, but this is the main thing that happens in every pantomime. This is panto 12 Days of Christmas. Thank you for the alert, Kaz. Right, the next one is the one that happens at every pantomime. So, here we go.
Stop. I think whenever Dundee says 5 toilet rolls, everyone should join in and sing it with him. So let's have a practice of that. Here we go. 5 toilet rolls.
You weren't singing. Oh, I can see your lips moving.
Let's all try again, gang. 5 toilet
Five toilet rolls. Toilet rolls. Toilet rolls. Thank you, Ellie. Yes, no redeemed. Thank you for them, Ellie. Alright, get ready to sing along. Toilet rolls. Right, it's gonna try and throw them again. We're gonna get ready to sing along. Toilet rolls.
Six rubber ducks go.
Who's gonna get them? Come on, Dad. You're not funny. Chase me.
Oh,
Chase me. Chase me.
I got you.
Sorry, right there.
There is a little balcony at the top of this theatre.
Keep on to them. Keep on to them.
You're so funny. Uncle Dave!
Is he gonna catch it? Is he gonna catch it? Yay! Get ready to sing along. 5 toilet rolls. Right, here we go. Number 12. This happens at every pantomime. So get ready.
Hello! On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me.
Yes, and when this happened during the panto I saw, I did get wet. Five toilet rolls. That was 12 Days of Christmas. Oh, Mark, I just sang 5 toilet rolls, and I think I might have confused some people. Other people here. Oh, that's funny.